Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show The Brilliant Ones, a podcast in which we bring the most intelligent people from all over the country and we have them answering certain questions on important or interesting topics. Today, we have three participants, and they are first of all, we have Paco the Maniac, then we have Darcy the most intelligent, and finally we have Andrea quick answers. So the first question will be for Paco, but remember that the topic of today will be Romeo and Juliet. It's a book written a long time ago for William Shakespeare and it was published in 1597. So let's start. Okay, let's go. The first question will be the root of all evil. At the heart of Romeo and Juliet's tragedy is an incident fought between two prominent families. Describe the nature of this fight and explain how it directly contributes to the initial obstacles and eventual demise of Romeo and Juliet's love. Okay, Paco, time to answer.
Okay. The main obstacle or trouble that the relationship between Romeo and Juliet has, according with their families, is that a rivalry that existed between Romeo's families and Juliet's families. In that case, the Montague against the Capulet family. So obviously, in this order of ideas, the rivalry between those families not able to approve this kind of relationship between Romeo and Juliet. So obviously, for that case, between the all situations or times that Romeo shared time with Juliet, there were a lot of troubles, a lot of difficulties at the moment to develop the love that they feel between them, because obviously in that case Romeo and Juliet cannot get a kiss between them in front of their family, because that could be create a rivalry, or they string the rivalry between between their families. Yes, so in that case, with the same troubles that they have to develop his love, and the end with a bad communication between Romeo and Juliet, Juliet and Romeo's dies by the pressure that they have felt at the moment to think about the future in the relationship with the situations that their families had.
Okay, Paco, thank you so much for your answer. So now we go with the second question for Darcy. The Friar's fatal plan. Friar Lawrence attempts to resolve the lover's predicament with a daring, but ultimately catastrophic. A plan involving a sleep potion walks us through the steps of his plan and identify at least two critical points where miscommunication or unforeseen events lead to spectacular failure. Come on, Darcy, let's answer the question.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about one of the most fascinating and heartbreaking moments in Romeo and Juliet. Friar Lawrence's famous and ultimately disastrous plan. Let's think about the context. Juliet is trapped in an impossible situation, secretly married to Romeo, but publicly engaged to Paris, and Romeo has been banished for killing Tybalt. Faced with this looming tragedy, Friar Lawrence comes up with a bold plan he believes can save the young lovers. Here's how it's supposed to work. He gives Juliet a potion that will make her appear dead for 42 hours. This way, she can avoid marrying Paris. After she's laid to rest in the Capulet tomb, she'll wake up and Romeo will be there to take her way away to Montois so they can start a new life together. But as we know, things don't go as a plan. The first major flaw in the plan is communication. Friar Lawrence writes a letter explaining everything to Romeo, but the letter never arrives. Why? Because the messenger, Friar John, is quarantined due to a possible plague. As a result, Romeo never learns about the plan. Instead, he hears from his servant Balthazar that Juliet is dead. That brings us to the second major flag, a lack of control over the unexpected. Although well intentioned, Friar Lawrence placed too much trust in everything going smoothly. He doesn't consider how impossibly Romeo might react, nor does he have a backup plan in case something goes wrong. So the inevitable happens. Romeo believes Juliet is a true deed, buys potion, and takes his own life beside her. Um, when Julie wakes and finds Romeo dead, she takes her own life without danger. What was meant to be a plan to reunite them ends up separating them forever. It's powerful how Shakespeare shows us that even the most carefully thought of plans can collapse due to small details. A letter undelivered, a erroneous submission, a desperate reaction. Friar Lawrence's plan not only fails, it definitely causes the tragedy he was trying to prevent. And thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure to share these reflections. Bye bye.
Okay, Darcy, thank you so much for your answer. You are so brilliant. And now we are going to continue with the last question for Andrea. And the question is love at the first sight, or something more? Romeo and Juliet fall deeply in love almost immediately upon meeting. Based on their interaction and the rapid progression of the relation, do you believe their love was truly love at the first sight? Or was it perhaps driven by other factors given their youth and the forbidden nature of the connection? Justify your opinion. Come on.
Hello, thank you for your invitation. I glad to see you again. Okay, for your question about the book Romeo and Juliet, and the question is love at the first sight of something more. Well, I think the moment Romeo and Juliet falling deeply in love, almost immediately upon meeting, because based on their interaction and the rapid progression of their relationships. Do you believe their love was truly is something like love at the first sight? Or maybe was it perhaps driven by other factors given their young and the forbidden nature of their connections? Well, when Romeo and Juliet first meet at the Capulet party, they fell in love and they express in their old feelings. For example, I remember a part of the book that Romeo said, "Did my heart love till now?" When this sentence, Romeo suggests as powerful love, as powerful attractions, based on a physical beauty and the emotional intensity that he feeling in this moment. And later, they taking many risks for to be together, defying their families, marrying in secret, and ultimately the passion they decide they sacrifice together. But when the finale of this tragedy suggests that while their love is powerful, maybe it may lack the maturity needed to endure and the real work and get over obstacles they face. Okay, really nice to be searching my ideas. Thank you so much and bye bye.
Okay, Andrea, thank you so much for your answer, a pretty good answer. And well, thank you everyone for listening to our podcast. Thank you for being in here with us. It was a pleasure to share this knowledge with you. Remember to follow us in our page www.thebrilliantones.com. Remember to follow us on the social media, and it was a pleasure. See you in the next podcast. Bye bye.